Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Grin Guardian Show. I am Glenn Sportcat Jackson, one of the many hosts tonight. Hopefully, everybody's having a great night. And if you're listening on duty, hopefully you're having a great shift. The chat is open. The phone lines are also up. 1-888-88-YERGZ on your phone pad. That's 1-888-88-YERGZ. It's a mouthful. So if you can't watch us on YouTube, go to yergsradio.com and check us out there. The phone line is compliments of them. So we are live and broadcasting. I've got some people backstage until the Aurora knocks us off or whatever comes and gets us. Hello, Andy.
Hey.
Hello, Matt. How are you?
Hello.
All right. Well, we got Wayne backstage. Let's get right to him. He's got lots of good stories to tell us, I'm sure. So,
excellent.
Hello, Wayne. Let's move this here so everybody can
Howdy,
see
guys.
you. We can see you this time. Last time he was on our show, he didn't have video problems or audio problems. He had video problems, but we had a great show. So we wanted to bring you back on this show. Wayne, tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
I was doing undercover last time. That's why I didn't want anybody to see me.
Secret squirrel.
Grew up in Rhode Island. Ended up getting hired by ATF 1976 as a special agent. Did some gun cases for my first 4 years. And then after that, I really wanted to get into the fire business. And I just thought it was a great niche, something very different. And I loved it from the beginning and did it for the next 19 years with ATF and then another 18 years on the private side. And now all I do is write books. And
all. You've done a lot.
yes, it's been keeping me busy since for the last 40 years, and I am busier now than ever.
You say that retirement, you just get busier. So I'm just learning it. This has been my first coming up on a year, and I seem like I do more stuff now than I did then.
Absolutely.
You will.
And Matt there, he's about to join the land of the retired from he's a secret scroll with the U.S. Navy. So
That's right. Good old 22 and a half years.
You don't look old enough. I still say you're making it.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't. He's still a little kid.
Maybe because I joined out 17, you know? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Mama
17
sent you
months.
down there and said, here. It's a true story. It's what my grandmother did to my father with the Navy. She took him down when he was 16. Back then, they could do that. And he was forcibly signed into the Navy.
Oh, man. That sucks.
Yeah, but he got to go in and encounter what was it? The Bay of Pigs when they surrounded Cuba. He was part of that. So he's like, I didn't sign up for this. Hell, I didn't sign up for any of this.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, so during your time at the ATF, I know you had to have had, and you've told us about some interesting cases, and you can go over them again here because this might be a little bit different audience than what we had before. But you had, just tell us about a couple of the big cases. I know you had some great ones.
You know, I'm just one of those people that happen to be in the right place, I guess, at the right time sometimes. I mean, just getting onto ATF in 76, the Boston office doubled in size from 40 to 80 agent. When I say Boston, it's the New England office. It doubled from 40 to 80 agents. And I was one of those 40 that got hired. In the next 25 years, they hired only 40 more. Okay.
Wow.
So that's one thing I was fortunate on. My fourth year on the job, because I made friends with a local police officer in Walpole, Massachusetts, a detective. I mean, I used to hang around with those guys all the time. As a matter of fact, the detective introduced me to my first wife. Okay. And he stayed a friend even after I got divorced on that one. But I'm married 28 plus years, second time around. So,
Congratulations.
But because I made friends with the detective, there was a small fire. I wasn't doing fires quite yet. This is April 1980, and I didn't start doing fires till later that year. But there was a small fire in a raised ranch in Walpole, and firefighters had to make forcible entry Smoke was coming out of a garage, which is underneath the home on the Ray's Ranch. And when they did, they uncovered a smoldering bucket, pail, like a garbage pail. And there was a carpet or something thrown over it. They flipped it over, and there were 17 guns in that barrel.
Oops.
Ooh.
And then they called for police backup. And when the police got there, they went upstairs. Nobody was home. They went upstairs and found a whole bunch more. And that detective called me instead of calling the local state police, which is normally they go through the district attorney's office here in counties and go get the state police. He called me. I got there. There were 46 M16A1s.
Cow.
Stolen 4 years earlier from an armory north of Boston.
Wow.
And there were 92 M16s actually stolen, and 46 of them went to Northern Ireland, along with a half a dozen M60s, So why were these in Walpole, Mass, 4 years later in a house? Well, the homeowner took off. A woman had knocked on his door, said, "There's smoke coming out of your garage." And he said, "Oh, yeah, I've taken care of it," meaning like, I've called the fire department. Instead, he hopped in his car and took off. And he disappeared for a while. And I had, we recovered all the guns. There was, 17 other stolen guns, plus the 46 M16s, plus $1 million worth of stolen goods. This guy was a career thief. Okay.
Goodness.
And it was such a fun investigation. It was the first telephonic search warrant that we ever did in the Boston office. I called my supervisor, gave him all the information, who got the U.S. attorney, and went to the judge, and we got a warrant that way, and which was pretty cool. But the guy, the offender, was Charlie Gallant, and Charlie, like I said, disappeared. I had a hunch. He came from Hyde Park section of Boston, and I had a hunch. He's a big drinker. So I went to some of the liquor stores. I went to the biggest liquor store there in town, in that section, and I showed a photograph of Charlie. And the guy said, "I can't say I've ever seen him." I said, "Well, here's my card. Give me a call, if you do." I'm telling you, 2 or 3 days later, he called. It was the weekend. Charlie went in and bought some booze, and this guy recognized him. He followed him out to a car. It had a Maryland tag on a stolen car, and he took the plate down, and he called our office. But at night we had night duty, phone duty. But for some reason, it must have been after midnight when he called, and it went to DC, and they never got a hold of me until I found out Monday morning.
Yeah.
That liquor store owner actually found the car 100 yards down the road when he left that night himself. He still saw that car. So that hunch almost paid off. But we saturated the area and looked around, didn't find him. About a month later, Charlie gets caught drunk driving in New London, Connecticut by a young cop, a guy on maybe 2 or 3 years. Charlie was so drunk, he wouldn't tell him a name, didn't have any identification on him, didn't have any guns on him either. But he did say, "If you knew who you had, you'd call the FBI." Well, ATF get no respect, So a couple of days later, he finally told who he was, or the fingerprints gave him up or something. And they called ATF with the warrant because we had a warrant. And the state police also found out. And we both raced to New London, Connecticut. And I took possession of Charlie, who begged me to stay with him in jail that night, because he said there's probably going to be a hit on me for losing all those guns. I said, Charlie, I'll gladly stay with you. I'll protect you any way you want. You just tell me who you're holding those guns for, who stole those guns, something. Tell me. You know, that wall, the allegiance, he kept it to himself. Charlie did 8 years in prison. Charlie told me he's the type of guy, the old-time criminal who respected cops. He wouldn't shoot a cop. You know, it's that type of thing. You have your job, he said. I have my job. He said, I'm a thief. I'll always be a thief. 10 years later, I was on the courthouse steps in Dedham, Mass, the Superior Court, and it has these giant pillars, about 40 feet tall, big granite pillars. And Charlie was standing between two of the pillars. And I went, I know you. And he goes, I know you. He said, I told you I'd never change.
Wow.
You know?
That's crazy.
It is. We never did find, we got a couple more arrests out of it because a black Cadillac drove past this little neighborhood as we were doing the search warrant with two guys in it. And one of our guys jumped in the car and caught up to those guys, pulled them over, ID'd them. They just said, we're out for a drive. Nice day. We're out for a drive. It was the first week in April, and it was nice and sunny. And the two brothers in the car said, we don't know anybody here. And about an hour later, a Polaroid on the table in the house showed Charlie with his arms around the two brothers.
Oh, man.
So eventually we went to talk to them again, and we found out there were guns in the house where they were. And so they were both felons in possession. So
Wow.
We got them too.
Dang.
Good. So how many guns in all was it again?
46 plus 17. What's that? 63 or something.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and $1 million worth of stolen goods. It was.
Was that like the norm for you though, for as far as work goes? Like, is it always like that?
No, not quite like that. You know, a lot of times you develop cases slowly, but this one happened just spur of the moment, fast. You know, you could have a bombing, you could have an arson, a fire that you might have to respond to in a sense. Which, when I started doing fires and explosions, I responded at the spur of the moment a lot of times. But gun cases, very rarely would something happen quite that fast. And that was the largest seizures of M16s in New England, and still might be. I've never heard anybody seizing that many guns at one time, you know? So,
Man.
and that's how did that happen? And only because I developed through liaison with other law enforcement guys.
Yeah.
And so that leads you to the arson case, the Boston burn one, which is over this shoulder. I'm looking at myself in reverse here. So, Boston started an ATF arson task force. So it's ATF arson task force. It's ATF, you know. And we had a Boston fire lieutenant in our office, had his own desk, had a federal car, and he's the only guy, Lieutenant Steve McLaughlin, retired now, the only guy that had a Boston ID and an ATF ID. You know, in history, he's the only guy. Okay.
Double pensions.
Yeah, right. So I volunteered for the task force. I had already been doing some fires, working some fire cases, and ATF had gotten serious about doing fires to assist state and local people. A lot of people don't know that. Why would ATF be involved? Because a lot of cases were too complex for state or local people to handle. They took time, took energy and manpower, they took money. So ATF could provide all of that. And without the locals, ATF was nobody. You know, we are there and we do assist. It's not like those TV shows where you see the FBI go in and take over, that type of thing. You know? So, So right as the same exact time, March 1982 is when the task force started. But February 19th of 82, this group started setting their first building fires. Now, here's a group of 8 guys and eventually a 9th person, but 8 guys. They were fire buffs. One was a full-time Boston police officer. 2 other ones were Boston housing police officers. One was a full-time Boston firefighter, and 2 other ones were call firefighters. And 1 guy owned a security company. But these guys were fire buffs, and that's how they met each other. We have the Boston Sparks Association. We have Club Box 52, 2 of the oldest organizations for fire buffs in the country. And 2 of those members, 2 of the arsonists, were actually members of the Sparks. 2 other ones were turned down multiple times because people didn't like them. But they were worried about this tax cutting measure we had in Massachusetts, Proposition 2.5. It was voted in November of 1980, the same day that Ronald Reagan got voted in, and the same day that Master Arsonist to be, Greg Bemis, turned 20 years old. And they were worried about this Proposition 2.5 because what it did was your property value, your taxes were limited to 2.5% of the value of the property. Simply a $100,000 piece of property, you couldn't be taxed more than $2,500. And the city of Boston at that time, I don't know if any of you guys have been in the city of Boston in the last 5 years, but there's virtually no vacant properties, and you can't buy a shed for maybe 100, 150,000. The median prices of houses are 750,000 or more.
Goodness.
Oh yeah,
in Boston.
Yeah, it's outrageous. Back then, there was a lot of vacant, abandoned 2- and 3-family houses. They're stacked. The 3 families are stacked. So, like in my book, I called them triple deckers and 3-deckers because I didn't want to use the same term. But my good friend who passed away last year, a firefighter, retired fire buff, he said, "Wayne, don't call them triple deckers. They're 3-deckers. A triple decker is a sandwich."
That's right.
But that was their favorite target because they had gas shingles, vinyl, asphalt, not asphalt. Come on, help me. Shingles.
Yeah, the siding. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. And they also did it in siding there for a while in the 60s.
Yes, in 1940s. All these places were built, and they sided them with the asphalt shingles. That's what I'm trying to think of, all the way down to ground level. So if you light it down low, it'll be up at the roof line in a matter of just a couple minutes. So These guys, do you want me to stop it all, Glenn? You want to ask a question?
No. You know, Matt has something. No,
you're on a roll. No, you're on a roll. Keep going.
So they started setting fires to these because, in a twisted version of Robin Hood, instead of stealing from the rich and giving to the poor, let's set enough fires so that the people will complain loudly, the press will play it up, and it'll put pressure on the fire commissioner and then on the mayor to get the jobs back. As an example, Boston lost because the property values were so low, these abandoned properties and just houses in general and stuff. The big cities like Boston did not know where the money was going to come from to pay the civil servants. And who's the usual people? Police, firefighters, teachers, that type of thing. So they laid off. Boston, with a rapid attrition program and layoffs, lost 600 positions out of 1,700. Well over 35%, and closed 22 firehouses.
Hey, Shay.
Hey, Shay.
Hi.
Add Shay into the group here. Welcome, Shay. Go ahead, Wayne. You're doing great.
Yeah.
I love
So
your story.
they closed 22 fire companies, as well as laid off 600 firefighters. So because of that, these guys said the only way we're going to make a dent and force these people to do this is by setting buildings on fire. And
Common sense.
oh yeah, it made a lot of sense. It's the Boston Tea Party on steroids. You know? So, they set the first one on February 19th of 82. The Arson Task Force started 2 weeks later, but not because of them. It was just in the works. So during the spring into the summer, these fires started happening, multiples in a night, multiples in a week, up to 30 or 40 in a month. Okay. And Boston fire in particular, because that's where they generally set the first 100 fires in this spree in the city of Boston. And Boston in particular was doing the origin and cause. And they're running like chickens with their heads cut off. And ATF was working with these guys every day, but we weren't origin and cause people yet. But we were trying to assist with investigations. But imagine, they graduated by June into buildings that were businesses, but unoccupied at night. For instance, June 3rd, 1982, the building they set on fire was 1,000 feet long by 300 feet wide. And it housed a import company that imported cheap toys, plastic and stuffed toys in boxes on pallets. So they set it on the outside, but it carried up through an open fan, the industrial fans that you have that cool the buildings in the summertime, that type of thing. It carried through there, and it went to the greatest number of alarms here is 9 alarms in Boston. And
wow.
Yeah, and they had a special call out of other companies from outside the, sort of like a mutual aid type of thing, but they don't call it that for the city of Boston. But they'd already set a 3-alarm fire earlier that night. So Boston was shorthanded, was already tied up, So they were very busy. June 11th, actually, is the busiest night in Boston Fire Department history. These guys alone set 10 fires that night. And at least 4 of them were multiples. They had a 9, a 6, a 4, and a 3 alarms out of their fires that night. So,
Wayne, was it specific buildings they were targeting? What kind of buildings was it they were burning?
well, yeah, again, first was their favorite target. There was abandoned 2- and 3-family houses, residents, and they bounced all over the place. I mean, if you know the villages in a sense, or the neighborhoods of Boston, you had Roxbury, Mattapan, Dorchester, Jamaica Plain, Charlestown, Southie, then into Hyde Park. They would bounce all over. Now, remember, they're cops and firefighters. They know the streets. They know the routines. Okay.
And they have the radios too, don't they?
They have the radios. They have the firefighter. They have the police officer. And Greg Bemis in particular memorized virtually every firebox in the city. Now, that became important because they started stealing the pull boxes. And we had call boxes here too. Yeah. Okay. And they would take those because, not just to collect them, because they were so smart. If you had a fire at A and B Street and the box is missing from C and D Street, and the fire company's closed at E and F Street, what happens to that fire in the middle of the night in a residential neighborhood? It gets delayed response, and they grow much bigger, right? So because of that, they had these large fires all the time. The pictures are just amazing. When I do live events, which I'm going to Michigan next a week from Monday, and doing the IAAI there in Michigan.
Oh, cool.
But that'll be my 86th speaking event on these books. So it's been keeping me busy. But so they would do those typically first, Matt, and then they wanted more punch. They wanted more buck, more, they wanted the press to really pick it up. When they set that one on June 3rd, the Sparrow Toy Company, and it was such a large fire, when they did that one, it brought in the national response team from ATF too, for the very first time in Boston. Okay. So that really got the feds involved even more than what we were. But that gathered a lot of press, a lot of media, right? And then they started doing other commercial buildings. Yes, they're all unoccupied at night, but they're live businesses. Sparrow Toy never rebuilt. They moved to New Jersey after. So, I mean, they didn't have a lot of employees, but I think it was like about 30 in the warehouse. And the loss of those jobs, the loss of the tax revenue, et cetera. And that night, 33 firefighters were injured. I don't want to diminish this, but in a sense, nothing real serious. Okay. I don't like when someone says minor injuries, because how close were you to a major injury or a fatality, you know?
Yep.
So these guys were ramped right up. And in the middle of summer, they sent a letter, and there's a picture of it in the book. I should show it to you anyway. I should grab it, but it's one of those cutout ones with all the letters, like a movie type of thing.
Oh, like the Batman type of thing. Yeah.
And you stick all the letters and formed words. It was a threat letter in a sense. It was holding the city of Boston hostage, except the city didn't really know much about it, because it was sent to WBZ TV because they were covering the fire so well. And BZ called Boston Fire. Boston Fire picked it up, brought it to Boston PD for fingerprinting. Got a couple of smudged prints, but nobody to compare it to them particularly. And I got to think, it's 1982. You don't have anything computerized, you know. And they put it in a file drawer. ATF didn't even hear about it. Even so, we're working with these guys every single day. Not that we're magicians, but, you know, it went in a file drawer. And it wasn't on TV. And it said, we are the Friday Night Firebugs. And Mr. Flair, you know me as Mr. Flair. It's a name that the press came up for both these guys setting these fires. And if you continue to keep firefighters laid off, we will continue to burn. And if you tear down abandoned buildings, we will go after occupied buildings. So they're telling you what their motive is, because I'm telling you, the newspapers, the magazines around here had all types of motives, you know, everything was covered in the papers.
Yeah, by today's standards, wouldn't that be terroristic threats?
It really is. I mean, they did charge them with something like that, an extra charge.
Oh, yeah.
So the first break came, I mean, after maybe 140 to 160 fires, November 1982. And so this case landed, like, I'm telling you how lucky I am, how fortunate. This was my investigation. And I honestly don't remember how it became mine. You know, we have 8 guys in the group. It could have been anybody's. So it's my investigation, but everybody's helping at some point, for sure. And you develop a lot of relationships besides with police. We had them with fire guys, but we had them with cameramen too. And Nat Whittemore, I just had lunch with Nat last week. And Nat Whittemore worked for WBZ. And he's a fire buff. He's actually a member of the Boston Sparks, but he was getting paid the overnight shift to cover fires. And so he was doing what he loved. And he was out there November 21, 1982, the second fire in a month at Garrity Lumber Company. So we dubbed it Garrity 2. And it was a rip-roaring fire. The flames were about 100 feet or so above the building. And these guys put 2 devices in there. They were using a time delay device, and they put 2 devices in there. And Nat Whittemore was there to film the fire, but he had some sort of idea that maybe the arsonists were here. And it does, you get fire buffs watching all these fires. They were chasing fires regularly in 1982 in the Boston area. Seeing the same 20 or 30 faces was not unusual. So Nat's coming around a pile of lumber, and he's hearing this god-awful sound of people yelling and cheering and stuff like, how many people cheer at fires? But these guys were rooting for the home team. Okay, here's the quiz. Who's the home team?
Fire.
The fire is the home team.
Yeah.
The firefighters are the visitors. Okay. They're rooting for the home team. Nat picks up his camera. Boston police officer out of uniform in a green army jacket pulls out of his shoulder holster, pulls his gun out. And Nat was wondering if he was going to shoot towards him or something. But the police officer waved the gun like he's on a bucking bronco for 2 or 3 seconds, because Nat was aiming his camera right at him. And there's Donald Stackpole, the head of the security company, Greg Bemis. Now I'm going to tell you something about Greg right now. I have a friendly personal relationship with Greg, and this coming week I will be going out to dinner with Greg.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, he did his time, but I'll tell you more about Greg later. But I have this relationship, so I wanted to fully disclose. And you had Joe Gorman next to Bobby Grabluski, the cop. And off screen was the Boston firefighter, Ray Norton. So after the camera caught Bobby with the gun, the other guys were joking, say, put your gun away, which he did right away. And they're all like hiding their eyes and faces and stuff. Well, my partner and I knocked on Grabluski's door a couple days later, his apartment. And he was home, invited us in. Hey, guys, how you doing? Wasn't nervous. He lied right to our faces. I always wanted to be a firefighter. That wasn't a lie. And, I'm a fire buff. That wasn't a lie. But I don't know anything about these fires. Nothing. He said, I'd gladly help, but I don't know anything. But on his living room floor, right over there, my partner put his trench coat on before we left and said, hey, my grandfather makes lamps or bird cages out of those things. It was one of those stolen fire boxes. Box number 1712. Billy got up close because it's painted right on there, the box number. And we raced back to the office. Billy, my partner, had a mimeograph. How many people in the crowd know what mimeographs are? Mimeograph sheet. That's how you made copies in the day. And it was a copy of the 14 missing boxes that year. And box 1712 was the first one that was missing. These guys stole it, and it was in Bobby's living room. So it doesn't make him an arsonist, though, does it?
No.
But
Just makes him a genius for keeping it in his living room.
Oh, it even makes him more of a genius when the next day you go back with a warrant and it's still in the living room. So he got charged locally.
He's like, what do I got to lose at this point?
Yeah. Oh, he's got a lot to lose at that. I mean, that's only a minor misdemeanor. But he got taken off the street after we got the box. And he was put up in dispatch and taken his gun away. But Boston, it's 4-2 now. The Bruins game is on over there.
Okay.
Boston PD's Internal Affairs was investigating Bobby because of that gun waving incident and the firebox. So, small world, folks. My partner, Billy Murphy, his father-in-law was the head of internal affairs for Boston.
Oh, man.
Imagine. And he told my partner, he says, you're no longer welcome here. Bobby told us he got it at a flea market. We believe Bobby, Well, he didn't get it.
Strong.
Yeah. So we did not interview Bobby again. That was, he came in for a polygraph. A couple of days later, first week of December, 1982. He came in for a poly. And he had a lawyer with him, and he flunked badly, real bad. I don't know what game he was playing. Why bother trying to fool us? So his attorney said he can't talk. What do you mean he can't talk? And we didn't talk to him again. That was December, first week of December. We didn't talk to him until January 1984.
Oh, wow.
Not 1 month, 13 months. But we knocked on some other doors. You know how big interviewing is in law enforcement? It's one of the most underrated means of making a case. You have to learn interviewing, and you have to go out and do it. So we knocked on doors of the other guys. And one of them, the Boston Housing Authority police officer, Wayne Sandin, again lied to me and said, "Oh, I'll gladly help you, but I don't know anything." They did burn a car that was stripped. One of those ones they just dumped, has no tires, and they took the radios and stuff. They burned one of those, and I'm going, sorry, it's after 9 o'clock. No, it was boring. What you're telling me, buddy. Give me something real. So he had cast his line, and Wayne Miller took the bait, and I'm telling you, he told me tidbits, and just kept me on that line, on the hook, And finally, in August of 1983, he told me that they stole a brand new, these guys are really crazy guys, they stole a brand new unmarked cruiser from a car dealership that hadn't been delivered yet to local PD. Why did they steal it? To update their own personal cruisers, because they were all driving black LTDs with an antenna, black walls, etc., or Chevy Malibus. In that case, it was an LTD. And they took parts like a new grill and lights and this and that, and then took the car and off into the Fort Point Channel, which is a body of water that separates downtown Boston from South Boston, and just right into the water. Well, Wayne Sandin told me about that. I don't know why, because Wayne never told me why. Eventually, I interviewed every one of these guys, but Wayne Sandin didn't say anything in the interview. With that information, that was August of 83. We still did not do anything much with it, because we were hoping to catch him in the act somehow. Okay. So in January 1984, we finally got Grabluski into an office with the deputy superintendent, a couple of detectives, a couple ATF guys, and interviewed him. And now we're charging him with the stolen vehicle, which is a big deal. That's a felony. You're losing your job and probably going to jail, So he decided to confess that night, and I formally arrested him at about 3:24, and at 3:24 a.m. sticks in my mind, as to the arrest time. And that was now Friday the 13th of January. Very unlucky for Bobby, very lucky for the citizens of Massachusetts, because by that time they had set approximately 240 fires, and they started going outside the city. They went everywhere. They set 2 fires just south of Boston, and then went through the city and set 2 fires north of Boston the same night.
Wow.
Then they went 30 miles north to Lowell, Lawrence, and they went 40 miles northwest to Fitchburg, where they set 4 major multiple alarm fires in one night. And I love to do this. I love to tease. Somebody almost died that night, and it wasn't by fire. And I'm not going to tell you. I got to keep some secrets.
Yeah, it's true.
But here's something juicy about that. I have recently signed a 3-year option. They bought the dramatic rights for Burn, Boston, Burn. And the plan, I have a very good friend in LA who grew up here, and the producer. Oh, the first guy is a screenwriter, and he's pretty big time. And the producer, production company, have purchased it, and their plan is to do a documentary and then a major motion picture.
Wow.
You know,
Congratulations.
a big screen.
That's
Awesome.
Heck
Wow.
So
You heard it here first.
I am so excited.
We'll be waiting on our red carpet tickets.
I am planning on doing a red carpet and getting the whole theater and the whole bit, you know. So
Hey, you'll need a challenge coin for that, and we can help you out.
ooh, you could make a challenge for him. That would be cool. I'll keep that in mind.
There you go, Matt.
Yeah, Matt and I have done a
He's
couple.
already-
So yeah, well,
They're already
more
playing
Matt.
it.
More
Yeah.
Matt than I. But
Oh, you help, Glenn. You help.
yeah.
So
nice.
quickly to wind up, based on Grabowski getting arrested that night, we couldn't talk to him again for another 5 months because his attorney, we brought him to federal court. He had an attorney who said you can't talk to him. Hey, thanks for the congratulations. I saw that pop up on the screen. But they tried to quash his confession, but we recorded his confession, and it was just like us talking across the table. He was so relaxed. We had read him his rights. There was no coercion, nothing like that. So the judge said, "Hey, it's legal." So once that happened, you got a second lawyer, somebody who's semi-famous. I don't know if anybody watches CBS in particular, but Ricky Kleeman's been on an awful lot lately with the trial going on and stuff. She's a consultant. She was an attorney here, and she was married to a guy who was commissioner of Boston PD, LA PD, and New York PD, Billy Bratton.
Oh, wow.
So, but Ricky Kleeman became his attorney and said, "They got you by the balls, son. You better cooperate." So we ended up wiring him 17 times. About half of those were in-person meetings with these guys, and the other half were telephone calls. And we got a lot of valuable information, so valuable that everybody pled guilty except for 2 who went to trial. And, sentences range from 40 years down to one guy got probation only because he was present for the first fire, never set a fire, went into the Air Force the next day, went to boot camp, and became a firefighter in the Air Force until we arrested him. And he got kicked out of the Air Force and got probation. But everybody else got prison terms ranging 4 to 6 for minor involvement. The 2 guys who did the best in trial was Bobby Grabowski, the Boston cop. He got a 12-year sentence, and under the federal system, you could get out after 10. He did get out just after 10. Greg Bemis signed an agreement for 30 years, but it got reduced, and he got out just after 10. But without their testimony, you got to live with the devil, people.
Yeah.
Sometimes, when would we have cracked this case if we didn't get a confession and then have good corroborating information? But I'll tell you, Bemis testified brilliantly. I mean, the defense hardly made a dent in his testimony, whereas Grabowski had his gun out a couple of 3 times, I think, and they brought that up a few times. And he got involved with stealing some stuff while I was on the job too. So, but the biggest sentence was 40 years, and that guy did about 27, and then died 2 years after he got out. He was only 55. So, the largest arson case in the history of the country, at least until maybe John Orr or Thomas Sweat down in the D.C., Maryland, Virginia area. But you don't have conspiracies of eventually 9 people last for 2 years. Oh, by the way, it was 264 buildings and 100 plus dumpsters that they set. So 360, 70, something like that.
And there were no fatalities, a few injuries, but no fatalities.
200 firefighter injuries. No fatality. October 2nd, 1982. very serious injuries. They collapsed roof, firefighters on the roof, broken backs, broken legs, burns. A couple of them never came back on the job.
Yeah, you can't after that usually.
Here's something interesting. I asked one. This was on. We have an evening magazine show every night during the week called Chronicle on Channel 5 locally here, and they played this story for a full half hour twice. And I asked one of those firefighters. I became friendly with them because two of them sat through the two trials, and I asked Manny Gregorio if he would participate in that TV program, and he couldn't. PTSD. I didn't talk to him directly. His two daughters work for Boston Fire Alarm now, so I went through the daughters. But I just recently was given his phone number to call, and I spoke to him for the first time since 1985.
Wow.
So almost 40 years later. And he's willing to participate in another podcast that I got invited to be on. And maybe even be part of the documentary that's going to come up,
Cool.
So,
hey, invite him
he's
on
no
here.
youngster. I think he's 85 years old. He's 80. Yeah, I could do that. If he's willing to do that.
We'd love it. Yeah, PTSD sucks, I know. So
Yeah.
I won't go into that. Well, we don't want to keep you all night, because you've got more great stories. I know, but we usually try and keep everybody about an hour so that we don't wear out our welcome, and maybe you'll come back and be nice with us. You have over the years collected some challenge coins, I'm sure.
I didn't know what they were until somebody gave me the first one. And then the second one, and then the third one, and then the fourth one. Yes, I have a few right here.
Any special memories with them, or?
Well, this one comes from Silver Springs, Maryland, and the firefighter who gave it to me, was actually at Walter Reed Hospital Fire Department. They had their own fire department.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, so he was there. And so he gave me one, and he's a great guy. They had me down to Maryland to talk, and I've had dinner with him and with my wife and stuff too. So it was pretty neat to be out and just somebody from a different part of the country and just talk the business. So it's pretty neat. 20th, and I hate using the word, but it's on here. 20th anniversary of 9/11 challenge coin. We went to the museum last December. My wife and I did. Oh my God! If you haven't been there, any of you guys been there?
I've been there. Yeah.
I haven't yet been able to yet. I had.
Yeah, you definitely got to go. Yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
A tremendous job with it. They did unbelievable, and it is heart-wrenching, and I knew it would be, and but it's just so poignant. It's amazing, and it's built right under it's part of the footprint of the building itself, which is really cool. If you guys know who the Fools are, I know Glenn came up with it, but Fools, Fraternal Order of Leatherheads, the old leather helmets. My wife said, "What does that mean?" I said, her dad was a firefighter, a captain in the city, and her brother was a captain also. And my wife lived through a triple-decker fire.
Wow.
She was on the third floor when four of them in East Boston went down. They were so close together. She was in the second one that caught on fire, and it was the middle of the night, and she didn't even know until smoke. She came down in the dark with my 5-year-old stepson, her son at the time. And the last one is just the IAAI that I have here, the International Association of Arson Investigators. And what states it come from? Georgia.
Mm-hmm. All right. I'll have to see if I can hook you up with a Georgia Fools. They come out with one every year, so.
Half story will travel,
we have a great story, and it sounds like Hollywood's going to make you into a bigger deal. So thank you.
Good luck. Good luck with that.
Yeah, good luck. And if you do want a coin, seriously, Matt is probably the most intelligent person in this business I've met so far. So
that actually sounds like a very good idea. You know.
Yeah, we talk about our shows the meaning behind challenge coins. It's not a piece of metal. So usually, when I'm giving out coins, it's not it's a meaning to it, just like the ones you got in your hand. So
yep,
we like to. We've done a couple of ARG in the past, but for other people, and it's more rewarding our end. We I do the work, but we like making them. So you guys can hand them out and everything. So
and we don't make you money. We turn you handle all the money stuff. But we just do this stuff. We just ask that you come back and show them on the show and give us one. So
give us one.
Well, I think Burn Boston Burn on the top would be pretty good, because if the movie, when the movie comes out, a lot of people are going to know about it for sure.
Oh yeah.
I've sold a fair amount of books. Burn Boston Burn, maybe 14,000 of them.
That's fair, yeah.
Or just some, just a few.
You don't have any like merchandise, like T-shirts or anything dealing with that stuff, or none of that?
Nope. Nope.
Oh, Cheyenne should hook you up. She's an expert.
Yeah, there you go.
And
we're just now discovering that stuff, merchandise and stuff.
And I love making it. So
yeah. Well, the covers of the two books, you can see both of them.
Yeah.
Bang Boom Burn being the second. That's where the machine gun story's in. There's 2 bombing cases in there, and there's 15 other arson cases in there of all types. But my son-in-law did both of those covers. So you could take something like that and put that on your challenge coin or something,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Were you out of the ATF by the time of 9/11, or did they get involved at all with 9/11?
I left in July of 2001.
Wow.
Yeah. And, the day it happened, I guess I didn't realize I was driving to New Jersey to do a speaking event. I was teaching a lot for New Jersey Police and Fire. I was supposed to have at least 150 in the crowd. And by the time I had on a local news station when I was driving, and by the time I hit the Connecticut line, there was a road sign already up, avoid 95 South through New York City. And on the radio, I heard about the first plane, and live, the second plane hit while I was talking about the first one. And I turned around. I was working on the private side then. I took 2 days off between ATF and my job on the private side. And we had 3 kids in college between the 2 of us.
Wow.
Yeah, my 2 girls and Jason, the 3 of them are only 14 months total apart. So 3 of them were in college, and I left as a baby. I left after 25 years. So I was only 48 when I left. But they wanted to make me a supervisor in Worcester, and I would have been doing gun cases and stuff. I'd already been in the arson business for 19 years. I didn't want to leave. So by going on the private side, they paid me what I was getting paid with ATF, so I doubled my income in a sense, and helped the kids get through school.
There you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's some great stories. Matt, do you got any questions?
No, just so how many years ago was that? How many years ago was it all this is going on?
Burn Boston Burn was from 1982 to 1985.
God, I was just being born around that time.
Yeah.
I was just thinking you were talking about 9/11. Your kids were in college, and I was in kindergarten.
Yeah. Well, I'm from upstate New York. Everybody always, when I say I'm from New York, they're like, "Oh, you're from New York City?" I know I'm upstate.
No, my family's from upstate too.
Yeah.
Well, in that book, Bang Boom Burn, there's one in Amsterdam, New York, which is 40 miles west of Albany, and the second bombing story there, crazy story, a 50-year-old man dating a 30-year-old woman who was American Indian. Her family hated him, trying to break him up. And so he decided to send 6 Christmas packages to her family. 4 of them exploded, killing 5 people. And that was in Buffalo, Rochester, and up on the Canadian border, about 100 miles away from Buffalo, where they all went off. So I'm quite familiar with the state of New York. I've only been in there about 88 times.
Just a dozen.
Yeah. But yeah, Wayne, just give me your information, your contact information. We'll get you hooked up after every show. We usually like to give everybody something for the show. I got something to show you here. Glenn always tells me he forces me to show this one all the time. So it's a Terminator one that I got.
Huh.
But bigger here, yeah.
This one's a little special. It's not the traditional one you're holding in your hand there.
Yeah, that is neat.
Yeah,
Oh, I can't wait to get my hands on it.
It's a little thick. Well, actually, this one I'm holding in my hand. This one's actually for Shay. Because she wanted the words.
Did you do it already?
Get to the chopper.
Yeah.
On the bottom.
That's great. I love it.
Engraved, yeah. Do you have any military China coins, Wayne?
I do not.
All right, we'll change that. Here's and here's another coin I got. Actually, I just got this one yesterday. This is a. You guys familiar with the VTOLs, the vertical takeoff planes that they got? Yeah, this is the wing on the back of it. This is for one of the CAD guys who gave me this one. It's one of the chief coins.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's neat.
Look at that, huh?
I like
it's nothing. Yes,
it's
it's it's only like a 5 millimeter coin, but it's cool, right? It's cool.
That
It's
is cool.
something. Yeah.
You have some real different. You have some real different ones for sure.
Yeah, I'm glad to tell you. It's my coins are. Yeah, my this is super different. So the I don't know if you're following up on the movies, but this one's coming out. This movie's coming out in July 20. What is it, 23rd, 26th, or something like that? But of course, it's chief inspired from the military. You don't want to take it to the airport because it does actually have claws in it that are not sharp.
Yeah.
But it's just a little fun, quirky thing. My coins are more about functionality rather than the the roundness and the traditional round ones that you got. So
we'll have to make one into a lighter then for Burn Boston Burn.
There you go. Hey, yeah, we're going to come together and get some ideas over here.
You can make the lighter, like the metal lighter holders, so you can put your wig in it.
There you go.
I would like to invite the people to my Facebook and LinkedIn. I was on Instagram just for a moment. I just started Instagram. Somebody recommended I should do it, and I started posting. And they asked me for identification verification, and I screwed it up, and they suspended me.
Oh man!
I mean, I was on for all of 3 days, I think.
I think you should go on and record your own audiobook because I would love to hear you read it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do have 2 audiobooks, but it was not me.
It should be you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I am writing my 3rd book, but it's a fiction book. It's
Read that one.
It's a serial arsonist murderer who only targets women.
Oh,
I'm intrigued.
Yeah. It's got psychology in there. It's, profiling. It's got a couple neat twists. And I'm aiming for September, maybe October 1st at the latest, trying to get it on the market. I've already. So
I'll tell you what, when you get it on the market, give me a holler and we will get you on here to promote it.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely.
Only if you read us excerpts from it.
I can do that.
You can chime to bed.
So it's Burn Boston Burn or Wayne Miller. They can look up. If they Google, they can find a whole bunch of different things that I've been on, even parts of that TV program, Chronicle. Also, my website, which was created by my brother-in-law, son-in-law, and that's author Wayne Miller is my email, authorwaynmiller@gmail, and burnbostonburn.com is my website. Okay, so I appreciate you getting me on again.
Absolutely.
And we got some fun stories in the second book that we can talk about.
Awesome.
Okay.
Save for next time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Wayne, have a great night. And I guess if your hockey game's not over, go watch that. And
Oh, it's over.
Oh,
Just rewind it.
Well,
No.
yeah, well, didn't Dallas just recently about give it up? They were up by like 4 and then almost lost it in like the last minute. Yeah, so
I'm glad
Yeah.
you
Dallas
had them
fans
on
feel
Monday
you.
night.
so yeah, if you're a hockey fan, come talk hockey and sports on the sports channel because I know nothing about hockey. So I just watch ESPN.
I played hockey through most of my college. So,
Oh wow.
Well,
and
I
my
may
dad,
need your expertise.
my dad played hockey till he was 86.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
That's so dangerous.
Catch this before you go off the air. In 2015, we had that horrible winter. We had 110 inches of snow here in Boston, and he slipped in his own driveway. Ironic, right? He slipped in his own driveway and fell. He hurt his shoulder. About a month later, he decided to go to the doctor when it wasn't getting better, and he said, "I hurt over here too." And they found out at 86 that he had lung cancer, and they took out the cancer. No radiation, no chemo. He's now 95, and I played 4 weeks in a row golf with him.
Wow.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Man.
He never played hockey again.
damn.
I need to know his health regimen.
95. He's hitting that ball out there.
Please tell me it's
Good for
bacon
him.
and bourbon.
I might go have a bourbon right now.
Thank you, Wayne. I appreciate it. And definitely, yeah, keep in touch with us. We'll get you back on the show, and we'd love to hear your stories.
It's fun. Thank you much. Appreciate it, Glenn.
Thank you.
Thanks, Wayne.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Wayne.
You have a great evening. If I can figure out which button to push because I'm blind, I'll get you backstage. It's a true story. I'm blind, but I have to move like this to see the screen now. So I guess it's time for new glasses. So either that or bigger screen. So
Don't need a bigger screen.
now I need new glasses. Well, Matt, do you got to go, or can you hang for a few more minutes? Because Susan is backstage from Protect the Blue Line.
Let's see what time is it. Yeah, I gotta scoot. Sorry, guys. I just got a text saying, "Get over here now. They're asking for you."
Go send us some pictures from there. So,
Okay.
all right, brother. Well, have a safe night. We will see you soon.
All right, guys. Take care.
See ya.
All right, bye.
Later.
All right, I'm going to bring Susan out. She's been hiding in the backstage for a bit there. Hey, Susan, how are you?
Good. How are y'all doing?
Doing well.
Good.
We'll move you around here. Move you up there so we got a better. So I do that so I can see you. I don't have to.
Stretch your neck.
I'm telling my secrets. How are you, Susan? It's been a couple weeks since it's been a couple months since we talked to you.
Yeah, I think so. A couple months or so. We've been doing good. Just getting ready for Police Week.
Yeah. Are you going?
Yeah, my sister-in-law and I are going. We're leaving tomorrow for
Okay.
Washington, so, and our first time to be there, so we're really excited.
I can imagine. I don't know if you remember a few weeks ago we had I'm drawing a blank. He was retired Arlington Police Department and FBI. He is now in I'm drawing total blanks. I think I'm having a stroke. The honor guard, and he plays the bugle, taps, and he's going to be performing a few times. So, maybe I can get you two hooked up. So
That would be great.
yeah. So you got funded. You're ready to go. You got plenty of coins to hand out.
We have 2,000 challenge coins to hand out. These are just our regular coins that we give to all the officers. We have 2,000 of them.
Wow. And just so everybody's clear, that is from you raising money. That wasn't out of one particular person's pocket.
No, we had 4 sponsors, and then everybody else has just been donating on social media of $1 here, $2 there, and it's all added up. So
Congratulations. That's awesome.
That's
I hope we
awesome.
played a tiny part in that. So
That's awesome.
yeah, and I imagine you're going to see a bunch of officers, so you'll probably give a good portion of them out.
we're hoping to get most of them out. Yeah, I don't really need 2,000 challenge coins here, but figuring there's about 30,000 officers, we're not going to get to cover everybody this year, but
No.
we'll cover a portion of them. So
At
That's
least
great.
2,000.
yeah,
It's great.
and then we
Well-
also had some made up that are
I'll make you larger here so we can see it.
okay, our limited edition
Oh,
protecting the
that's
blue
cool.
one.
I love it. That's a camera shutter, isn't it?
Yeah, yes.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm jealous.
Oh, cool.
Me and Andy are both photographers, so I'm super jealous. So,
And they're a lot bigger than the ones we usually give. And
oh,
heavy
wow.
officers.
That's
Wow.
amazing. I'm jealous.
I bet I can send you one.
Oh, well, you know where I live. Well, I guess you do. you got my address. Well, so when does it start? It starts next week,
It starts Sunday.
Sunday. Oh, okay.
Yep, Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday the bicycle riders from across the country will get there and kind of kick everything off. So, because they have police officers riding from all over the East Coast all the way to Washington D.C. So,
Yeah, actually, I bought a T-shirt from the East Tennessee group to help them. So they had a cool shirt. So go Vols.
but did you buy a Protecting the Blue Police Week shirt?
No, I didn't. I'm sorry. I'm a bad guy. It had the orange Tennessee Volunteer logo on it, and I was kind of, well, you know, I'm a sucker for sports.
That's fair.
So what all? I assume there's going to be multiple events.
Yeah, there's events all week, and then of course the main two are the candlelight vigil ceremony and the memorial ceremony that they do on the lawn at the Capitol, where they read all the names of the fallen officers from this year or from last year.
Yeah, from last year. Yeah, that should be pretty amazing. Take plenty of pictures for us, please.
Oh, don't worry, I will.
Oh yeah, and if we will it be next Saturday? Will you be up there too?
We leave Thursday.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'll send you the link, and if you're somewhere out and about and can click in, join the show.
Oh,
That would be awesome to have you live from up there.
we'll be back by then, but I will have all sorts of challenge coins to show you. So,
Oh, I'm sure. And speaking of challenge coins, has your collection grown since we last spoke? Have you got any really cool new ones?
actually, one of my sponsors, Police Life Apparel, they also do challenge coins, and actually, he's with California Highway Patrol. He sent
Okay.
me this one.
Ooh, nice.
Cool. Whoa,
Motor wings on the back. I like it.
that's awesome.
That's pretty awesome.
And that's a thick. That's a stout
Thick
coin.
boy.
It is.
He sent me that one.
Well, that's gorgeous.
Ooh, that's neat.
I like it.
And I
G.I. Joe.
I think they have both of these for sale on the website, so on his website. So
Cool. I like it. I'm trying to move you around
that-
here. Sorry.
That first one was really awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Any interesting stories for meeting officers between last time we chatted? I know you get out some, and
not really. I've been kind of laying low. We're trying to get ready for police week, and it's a major task. So
sure. Well, I think what's the TV show On Patrol? I think they're going to be up there too, so maybe we'll run into some of those guys.
yeah, I know a few of them are going to be there. We've been trying to figure out who else going to be there, and it's kind of interesting. Kind of go try to stalk them all and find them all.
Cool. Have you got to speak to any of them personally, or?
No, not yet. I never have.
Okay. I was gonna say it's not easy. I've been trying for a little bit, so
They're pretty popular, so
Well, that and they probably get strange fans that ask them stupid questions. So, can you fix this ticket? No. Well, I am so happy that you got funded. You're able to go. You got all those coins. That is great. And like I said, I don't think we played any part in it, but we congratulate you. That's awesome. And we want to hear all the stories and everything.
With just the funding is
Well,
amazing.
Shane, you were here last time. Do you know she goes out at, well, Susan, you tell the story. I'll blow it.
We give Lucky Challenge coins to officers. It's just a way of saying thank you for what you do and to be careful out there. And so far we've given around, I would say about 7,000 of them around out.
Wow.
And then I'm a photographer, so I also try to get their photo. I don't always get a photo, but most of the time I do. And you can see them on the website, protectingtheblue.com.
Awesome.
Yeah, me and Andy Bugger, because we're both photographers. That was my first job with the fire department at Fairfax. I was a photo unit, so I actually was thinking about making a challenge coin of our old patch. I don't know if the fire department would approve it now. Probably not, because
probably not.
They don't approve anything anymore. Well, Susan, if you, man, I'm trying to think. When you go up there, you're going to probably just be overwhelmed, because that's got to be. I can imagine going to the but I can imagine going to the National Fallen Firefighters, which is in Emmitsburg, Maryland. I've been to the memorial, but I've never been for the ceremony. It's huge. I mean,
it's big time.
It's 2 states up there. I mean, it's Maryland and Pennsylvania.
Yeah, they come in by busloads.
Yeah. So, I mean, I just can't imagine how I've been there, and I've actually taken classes at the National Fire Academy. It's huge. So I can't imagine why.
Yeah, you need GPS to get around that ground.
Yeah. In DC now, with the normal touristy stuff coming in, and now all this, it's gonna. Wow. Have you been there before?
No, I've never got to go to Police Week before, and that's
okay.
I'm just.
Well, have you been to the memorial?
No, I have not been to the memorial. I've only been to Washington, D.C. once, and that was just a quick day trip. So, but I didn't get to go to the memorial. But
traffic sucks.
Yeah.
Make
Food
sure to pick
are very expensive.
Yeah.
Now, is Police Week the same time every year?
Yes, it's always the week of Mother's Day weekend. So.
Okay. Because I had talked about before, whenever I first went to DC, it was on a trip in school, and we had to make sure we were out really early by that Sunday morning, and it was the Sunday morning of Mother's Day, and they didn't tell us why, except for that, like, all the bikers were starting to come in and everything, so that makes sense now.
Yeah,
all those bad police officers.
Well.
How many years has it been running now? Do you know?
Oh, I think I should know this. I want to say since the 50s, maybe.
Yes, I was thinking it was at least then. Yeah. Because I remember it. I mean, not on the grand scale it is now when I lived there in the 80s. So it's gonna be fun. Are you gonna drive up there, and are you gonna?
No, we're taking a train.
Okay.
We're taking a train up here. Up there, it kind of seemed easier, but with
Amtrak, and then once you get probably Union Station.
Yeah, and then the hotel's just like 2 blocks away, so it won't be that bad. But transporting 2,400 challenge coins is kind of a big job.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how's TSA gonna think about that? Tell you what, while they're frisking you and doing all the pat down, just hand them a coin.
Yeah.
Oh, distraction.
Then say, "Can I have my picture with you?"
I flew out of LaGuardia one time. I think it was LaGuardia, and I had bags of challenge coins, of course. And the TSA guy was going. He took every single coin out and inspected it. And I was going, really, guy?
It's because of Matt, the guy that just left. It's because of him, because he makes the one that comes
Hold
apart
on,
with
I
the
gotta
little
make
blades.
sure there's nothing in each one of these.
Luckily, it was at the end of the trip and not at the beginning of the trip, so I didn't have quite as many. But it just kind of blew his
Hey,
mind.
Glenn.
Yeah.
It says in 1962, President John F. Kennedy signed a proclamation which designated May 15th as Peace Officers Memorial Day, and the week in which the date falls as Police Week is a time to support law enforcement, communities, police, and other law officers. So I would say 1962.
Wow. I've been by the memorial, but I've never stopped. So and I've seen plenty of pictures from it. It's gorgeous. So I mean, it's a shame that we have to have that, obviously, but it is good that they are recognized, because so many times most of the people in public safety don't get the recognition. So it's kind of a thankless job. So, well, Susan, did you have anything else you wanted to add, or were you just hopping in for a few minutes, or?
Just hopping in for a few minutes. I got to go finish packing, of course.
Yeah. I know we talked earlier. You were excited and ready to go, and I was like, cool, when to get you in here. Well, do take plenty of pictures and holler at me. I'll try and shout you out. I think the Thin Line Rock Station, which is, well, you can't see it, but that's our sponsor for the show, pseudo sponsor for the show. I'll shout it out. I'm on there 3 days a week now, so I'll shout out for you.
Nice. And you can check out our website, protectingtheblue.com, and there's a link to get one of our t-shirts, our 2024 Police Week t-shirts, and some more information about us, and you can look at pictures of all the officers that I've met. So
cool. Well, if you meet any of the ones from any of the on patrol things, or on patrol more than cops, but just mention our names, so hopefully we can get one of them on the show. I've been trying really hard, but short of contacting one of the sheriffs, I guess. I think I could probably get the sheriff from Arkansas quicker, because he returned messages, so I probably could get him if I tried.
he is great. I love
him. And I think he's going to be there. So if I understood correctly, I think he's going to be there. I don't know that they have speakers or anything, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be there in some capacity. So, because 2 weeks ago he was over in the Carolinas. It was last week. He was over in the Carolinas talking about going up that way. He was he loves that. Was it a Hellcat that he drives? So yeah, if you see him, tell him that we want him on our show. So please plug us. We'll be we'll do something nice for you. I don't know what, but we'll figure it out. So. We don't have any money here to show yet. Cheyenne is trying really hard. She is Cheyenne, come on, since you and I first had the show. You were one of the first guests, actually, and Cheyenne's done an amazing job helping us get guests, and now she's bringing us up into the century, and we're going to have apparel and hats and all kinds of fun stuff. So.
I will make you some fabulous brownies.
So, all right. So, all right. Well, Susan, I'll let you go. Get packed. Enjoy your trip. Be safe.
Be safe.
Keep in touch with me. And please, plenty of pictures for us here. And I'll, if you send them, I'll share them out. So
we want to see your goodies whenever you get back.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. We do want to see that. So,
and if social media, I'll be posting. I'll be trying to be doing lives and check-ins and stuff like that. So
cool.
Awesome.
Okay. All right. Well, we will certainly do it. So Andy, remind me, because I'll forget. So
okay.
All right. I have a memory of, well, it's not very good, and I'm blind now. Apparently, since I got to go in just to see the guests. My wife's been yelling at me.
I need
for
a
2
bigger
weeks.
Computer screen.
She's like, you need to go get your eyes checked. I'm like, no, I'm okay. And she's like, why are you squinting at the computer and doing this? It's something on the lens or something. All right, Susan. Well, thank you very much. Have a wonderful night. Safe trip, and we will talk to you soon.
Okay. Thank y'all so much.
See ya.
All right. Bye-bye.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. I'm so glad she's getting to go up there, because I was worried when we first got, had her on the show, because that's a big task to get that many coins and to get up there, get to DC. I won't say where she lives, but she lives in the South. It's not like you can just drive right up there.
Heck, maybe she'll get links from the other police officers for us to buy coins from them.
True. Yeah, she's been very good. I've tried every time I remember to shout her out on the Thin Blue Line, or good Lord, Thin Line Rock Station. So, got to say the name.
Too many thin lines there, Gwen.
Yeah, too many thin lines. But
I just think it's awesome that that they were able to get all of that completely funded. That didn't have to come out of pocket for them.
No, none of that does. She works hard though. Let me tell you, I know what it's like behind the scenes, and I know she's working just as hard. So, but I'm glad it paid off for her. I really am.
What all does she do exactly?
Well, she tries to get Lucky Challenge coins to every police officer she meets. And then she also will send out coins for like special things. She had pity on me and Andy. I don't know if she had pity on Matt last time, and she gave us a coin. So, but yeah, she and she tries to get a picture with each one. And it's kind of like our show, so that she kind of has a story if they trade too. So if they give them a coin for a coin.
Yeah.
So in the first show, we had her on. Gosh, I don't remember how many coins she had. Do you, Andy? It was a lot.
No, it was a lot. Well over 5,000, wasn't it?
Like to give away, or ones that she's collected?
No, she has.
She has.
Wow.
I think it's like, wasn't it over 25,000 she had?
Holy cow!
I don't remember it was that high, but it was really high. Yeah, it was. And it's just, just meeting officers and shit. And what she doesn't like to talk about is her and her husband are retired law enforcement as well. So, so they got a little connection there. It wasn't like they're just like the fire buffs that come out to the fires, but
the brother sisterhood.
Yeah. I think they were in a different state though. I don't think where she lives now. I don't think they were there, which isn't uncommon. A lot of times in law enforcement, if you career somewhere, you move when you're out.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I went out of Atlanta. So everybody keeps telling me Florida's going to sink, so I can't go there. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, just bring a bat to fight the gators.
I saw one when I was there a few weeks ago. So
you can just have a baby one in the passenger seat to throw into somebody's.
It was a little teeny tiny one that we had.
Well, no, shoot. What was that video? There was a lady throwing a baby gator into like a McDonald's drive-through because they made her mad.
Oh, that needs to be on tomorrow's show. You need to find that story.
Okay.
So yeah, that would be a good segment for tomorrow.
I feel like Bobby brought that up last week.
He might have. It's hard to tell with Bobby. So, but he I don't know if anybody was listening from last Wednesday's show, but he was in the shelter almost the entire time of the show. And then until in the middle of the night, like 3 a.m, he messaged me that they were safe.
Did you see that video that I sent from TikTok?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
there were some monster ones.
Yesterday, my sister and my niece were there for a concert. And I didn't find out till yesterday evening when I got home from work and was talking to my mom, and I was like, "Oh God, they were in Knoxville for a concert."
Oh wow. Well, Knoxville was spared, but it was a little bit was that southwest of them was where some of the bad ones were. So, and right above Bobby too. Yeah, it was terrible. I heard a lady on the news tonight talking about people complaining about being homeless. She says, "I'm not complaining about being homeless. I have a home. It's over like a 5-block radius." And I was like,
exactly.
At least she had a sense of humor, but I mean, she was upset about it, but it's like, wow.
Did you hear anything from Sin, if she's okay?
No, I haven't. I've been meaning to follow up with her, but I've been incredibly backed up and lazy when I do
an
have
email
a
from her?
I'm pretty sure I do. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I do.
Hey,
Yeah.
alright.
And you are busy booking me all over the place, I see.
I'm trying. Lord only knows how I'm keeping everything straight.
Well, you're doing a better job than me. So.
Well,
That's why she wears hats now from pulling her hair out. Look at her. She's like,
tell me you're going to show up
Don't
like
care.
Luke.
Hey, I might.
I hope Luke wears
It'll be a better toupee than that.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping he wears tomorrow. Andy, you'll have to watch the show. Luke has, well, he's got a new hairstyle.
He's entered his boy band era.
I thought I heard something about that.
I wish he would paint himself orange. I really do. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
But it's gotta just be like just barely.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh God.
No, I'm gonna tell him to go buy a bag of Cheetos and just crush them up and then just
there
yeah.
You go. That should give you some hint of the style of hair. So.
Before he fixed it.
Well, we hope.
Well, no, he sent another picture where he had it down.
Yeah.
It wasn't like.
What was that cartoon character? Johnny Bravo. That was kind of what it was.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to be like, I need you to have this bit ready for tomorrow.
And he hasn't asked me for any sound effects. I might want to go. I think I got some Johnny Bravo sound effects. I think. I don't know.
That's what Glenn will be doing tonight, getting stuff ready for tomorrow.
Well, actually, I do need to get some stuff ready for tomorrow's show because Cheyenne has challenged me to find topics. So.
Yep. I've got my notes.
Oh God, she's got her notes. Watch out, Glenn. You're in trouble.
Yes,
He's always in trouble.
They're typed and double spaced. You're screwed.
No, I'll get
typed,
an email.
Not double spaced, but typed nonetheless.
I've got 12 signal messages, and I'm assuming a bunch of them are from you. So,
at least 2.
Okay, well, I won't look at them until after the show.
That was reminding you that you told me to remind you.
Yeah, I remember. I just haven't put it on the calendar yet. I didn't come in here until like 8:35. I was just
and he did send me an email of sounds great. Look forward to speaking with us then. So
we got Nazi?
No,
how do you say
Adam.
Okay, Adam, good. And then
he had sent an email and it actually gave a pronunciation.
Good.
It's not what you think it is.
Oh.
Hold on.
This is going to be good.
I've been emailing so many people. Which is which? Where'd he go?
Andy, we've got an up and coming musician. And I'm not going
to Zondi.
In Zondi. So
and it says the name, but then in parentheses EN-ZON-DEE. So that would be in Zondi.
Wow.
That's great. I wonder if he'll play for us. Probably not.
I hope so. He better.
We can ask.
We'll just bring Tommy back on to give me another little rousing song.
Yeah. Andy, you've met Tommy, I'm sure, haven't you? From Behind the Box.
Yeah.
The show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he came on Paranormal Guys Wednesday night, and it was our second hour, kind of after hours. He sang us a song on the way out, so it was kind of cool.
Oh, jeez.
It felt like after listening to everything he had to say, I felt like we were ending a sitcom. Just like this wholesome song, and I'm just like,
Did she get up and start dancing?
Pretty close. She was jamming. No.
It was nice. It was a nice song, and it's like he left us on a wholesome note. It was
He
just
did.
all this stuff, and then I was like, "Oh, that was nice."
Oh, cool. And I just got a message just now. The coins that we made for Miranda Maverick have shipped. So she should have them in about 7 days. So I can't wait to see
Cool.
that. I messaged her the other day, and she is going to make a what do they call it? Unboxing video, opening video. So for us to show on the episode. So I can't wait for that.
Nice.
So I'll have to message her and tell her they're on the way so she can be ready. So yeah, we made challenge coins for her, and who's the other one, Andy? Do you remember? I'm having a blank here. I can't
I
remember.
forget who else.
Yeah, we've helped a couple people out.
Because I do. Matt just keeps saying, "Yeah, we'll do a coin for you." Yeah, we'll do.
Oh, I remember it was one of the authors. Yes. Yes, it was one of the authors. So yeah, he's got that worked out. So I
Wasn't it
think
the guy
we
from
finally-
Fairfax? Didn't they say he was gonna make a coin for him too?
No, he was from Ohio, Cincinnati, Ohio. No, the Fairfax officer, they won't let her make the animal control when she wants. So that's why I thought about making a Fairfax coin,
Yeah.
but I'm not a police officer, so I don't want to cross that, but
Mm-hmm. The thin line.
but they won't make one, so like, come on, guys.
I know.
So
Our local sheriff's department here doesn't make any.
I don't get it.
I even
don't
asked them.
understand it. Yeah, tell them some guys will if they want to make it and go in, I don't know, 60-40. They get to sell them out and get them out, give them out first. We'll go behind them and sell them online later. It would help them out. So I met while I was down in Tallahassee, I met a lot of guys that that's what they do, is they're police officers. They just go around to other departments and they'll be like, "Hey, you don't have a coin, let's make one." And they're like, "Well, that's kind of expensive." And they're like, "Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll make them and you let us have some of them to sell after you do whatever you do with yours." So a couple weeks or a month behind. So he said, that's the way to approach it. So if you got some contacts there, give it a try.
All right. I'll see what they say.
I'm just not having any luck with police officers.
And I'm still trying to get Mike to get contact with you about the one memorial coin.
Yes, you need to do that.
But he's been swamped with work, going on trips, and
he's all over the place. So
yeah,
he hasn't
next
been to
week.
Atlanta yet.
This week he goes to Kentucky.
Okay. Is he driving up there or flying?
I think he's driving. I know he's been to New England several times, and he drove.
I'm not a
Been to
fan of
Canada.
driving. So, well, actually, I'm talking to Ken, one of my friends, and I may turn the show over to you guys for, I don't know, 7 to 10 days, and we may go on a excursion. We're talking about trying to see some fire museums up and down the East Coast.
Oh, cool.
And then last year, or year before, we were at the end of Route 1 in Key West, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
I met some really cool people down there at Key West Police, Key West Fire. Had a really cool time. We're talking about going to the very top end where it comes in from Canada and becomes U.S. Route 1.
Nice.
In that area. So that's kind of one of it's on our mind. So me and him started talking about it today because I had a dream. Growing up, his dad had some property in Carlisle, so we used to go to Carlisle all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They had a what is it? The river? Is it the Pennsylvania River? I don't know. There's a big river in there. And Ken tried to kill me in it on one of my birthdays. That's another story. But we went.
Happy birthday.
We went kind of rafting, and well, the boat wasn't made for rafting, or with the ship, whatever the hell it was called, the
Rafting
skid.
/ surviving.
And we ended up somewhere miles downstream with it broken up, us almost broken up. And it was dark. And not a one of us had a flashlight. Here's the 80s. We're in the woods. And so I kept telling Ken, he's like, well, we'll just get out and walk one way or the other. I'm like, dude, if we do that, we have no idea where we are. We could be in a national forest. Because we know where we came this way.
Mm-hmm.
And my birthday's in October, so it wasn't very warm. So we started the track upstream. We finally made it several hours later, but it was an adventure. We were run off by cattle, bulls at one point.
Well, at least it
we
was.
ran into barbed wire a couple times.
At least it was only cattle and barbed wire, not serial killers or monsters.
Yeah. So,
If you get a chance, I've seen pictures of Boston Fire Museum.
Well, that's what we're talking about, and we've actually talked about coming inland into Manhattan and seeing if I can. I don't know if I can do. I don't know if I can do the memorial. I want to. So
Yeah, I heard it's pretty rough.
yeah. Well, you know the story. I had friends there, so yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be rough, but I want to do it, and before I get too much older, I need to do it. So.
I was actually up at the Flight 93 Memorial.
Oh, how is it?
It was one of the makeshift ones right after 9/11, and they were in the process of making the memorial itself. But the one that they had makeshift, it was huge.
Wow, how far from you is that?
That's a couple hours away.
Is it okay?
I'm guessing 3 hours, 2 or 3 hours away. Straight up 81.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we'll be a little too far inland. Maybe coming back, because we'll probably come back 81. He lives off of 81 and 66 down in Virginia, so we might come back that way just to hightail it back this way. That way it would I could drop him off and be back at mom's in like 3 hours, so 4 hours. And then I would have my computer and everything. But yeah, we're talking about doing that. And if so, I might just turn the show over to you guys for a couple of days and go have some fun. Or just show up on the laptop and be like a guest. Be like, hey.
Yeah, he's going to be a call-in. Hey, guess who this
look
is?
who we have now.
I'll be the one with the crappy signal. So
Shay's going to be like, oh, crap, look who's on the phone.
Kyle, don't let him in. Don't let him in.
Hey, I know the secret phone number, 1-888-88-YERGZ. So we haven't any callers
I'll
today.
have
I was
a
kind of hoping we'd have a
talk with
caller.
Ross.
Oh, good luck with that.
No, he keeps sending me goofy shit on TikTok.
Really?
Asking if I've recovered, and I haven't.
Oh, from the coffee incident.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm responsible for the video, but I did not want to be tagged in it.
Thankfully, I wasn't, so.
Oh, God.
All right, if you're on TikTok, Andy, check it out.
I don't know if I want to.
It's well worth the price of admission. It's one of the reasons TikTok should be banned.
No, he
Sorry,
wanted
Ross,
to
I
make a
love you.
TikTok of my reaction just in itself.
Oh, God.
Yeah, well,
Because I'm going,
yeah, it was, yeah.
A little 6-month-old eating a lemon for the first time.
Millions of children died filming that TikTok, so.
so many of them.
Oh, Ross, if you're listening.
It's so messed up.
We're going to have a call in next. I can see it now.
Such dark humor right there, but so true. So that's a tease for you. Go to
And who knows how many times since?
I'm not
I don't want to
responsible.
know.
go to yergsradio.com TikTok and check it out. I'm not responsible for your reaction. Please do not at me.
Or any psychiatric emergencies.
Exactly. Any hate mail goes to bobbydizzle.com.
.com. Exactly.
That's where all the hate mail goes.
And that's where your medical bills go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That
There's
one,
still
yes.
PTSD. BobbyDizzle.com.
Yeah. I don't know. I go check it out, Andy. It's well worth the price of admission. So
It's not okay.
Oh, did you talk to Mike since he was out in California? He went to the original Station 51 while he was out there.
Oh my gosh. I think I saw some pictures he posted on that.
Yeah, he said
That's on my bucket
everything
list, too.
was still the same except for a few of the modernized radios that they have, and they still run calls out of that station.
That's great.
The
I wonder how
bunker
many
in the
people
kitchen
show
and
up
everything's
there.
still the same. Because they have T-shirts, they had challenge coins.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, was it last no, it was 2 years ago when I went to Harrisburg for the Fire EMS Expo. That's coming up too.
Yeah.
Awesome, though. Yeah, third weekend in May. So hey, maybe I'll be in town for a
It's
trip.
next week.
Is it next week?
Yeah. Today's
Oh
the
hell,
10th.
we are in May. Jesus Christ, I don't even know what the hell month we're in. So-
Yeah, it's May because my birthday's in May.
Oh well, happy birthday early. So
Thanks.
we'll have to send you a card or something. It'll be electronic and it'll be postage too, but we'll send it to you nonetheless.
It'll be one of those where you
With
have to
Ross's
pay to receive
TikTok, right?
it.
With Ross's TikTok, we'll have Ross make a special one for you. How about that?
And Shay making noises in the background.
Ah.
It definitely wasn't a pizza party. So. You've
was
seen the
another
pizza,
party.
I
right?
think it kind of was, to be honest. I think it was a pizza party.
Without the pizza.
Without the pizza. Yeah.
Look at Shay. She's busted out laughing.
It was so bad.
It was, it was all natural. Literally.
I love how look at that. She's still.
It's so bad. It's
I
so
love
bad.
that she talks like that too. That's hilarious.
It was so bad. So, well, also about this,
Coffee the same.
yeah. Luckily, I don't drink coffee, so I don't have that to worry about.
Every day.
Yeah, you do, don't you?
Just put a little extra shake in there of
No.
cream. And a little
I
salt.
need Jesus.
You
It smell like bleach. But
You need more than Jesus.
No, I'm gonna send you guys what I was gonna send him on TikTok, but it wouldn't let me.
oh my God.
We're screwed, Glenn.
No, it wouldn't let me send a picture on TikTok to him, so I couldn't
Oh.
send it.
All
I just
right,
sent it in the group chat.
I'll have to send it to him so that he can see it. It's apropos. Yeah, I'll send it to him. In fact, I got to talk to him. Actually, he's getting his other radio station up and going. So I think we might be trying to do some stuff for it. So I don't know what though. So I don't want the cat out of the bag. So, but I can tell you that right now I am wrapping up my show on the Thin Line Rock Station where I did fabulous Flashback Friday. So it was my first episode. I recorded it. So yeah. And there was disco. Shocker.
Still
Raise the roof
requesting
with
in
the
the
coffee.
Navy. Oh God!
What?
I'm gonna go cry in the corner.
Oh wow.
Folgers crystals.
Jesus Christ!
So anybody that is in the Northeast right now, or even maybe the South, go outside and look up. The Aurora Boreal is here. I'm getting some pictures from Knoxville.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'll share. Let's see. How can I share this? This is from my daughter. So share screen. Yeah, I understand. I could show something really bad. screen. Here we go. This is my daughter's backyard in Tennessee. Let me move
Ooh.
that. Yeah, that is unusual. That is what the government has been warning us is coming. So
And
if you
there's
lose
the
your-
UFO right there.
if you that could be if you no, that's just the moon. So but if you
Don't
lose
rain
your
on my
internet
parade.
or satellite, that is why. And if she sees it there, you ought to be able to see it in Maryland for sure. Run outside with your camera, get some pictures. If you get a clear night, yeah.
That's gorgeous.
I'll have to send Mom out there to look.
Yeah, because it never makes it down this far south.
Cool.
Never. So this was they called this the storm of the century, and it's just beginning. So it's supposed to be coming our way. So
I
Nice.
was honestly pretty surprised whenever the like eclipse happened that we could see it here, because typically with all the mountains and the trees and everything, but thankfully I was in Beckley whenever that was going on, so that was like right at the tippy top of everything. So I'm going,
oh, did you do the cell phone thing?
yeah, I'm just going, because I could see that the lighting was different, so I'm like,
Do a selfie with it over your shoulder.
yeah, that's what I was doing. And then I went up the road to go pick up our dinner, and I'm reaching my arm out the window, getting it different. And the guy from Cheddar's walks up and he's like, "Did you have an online order?" And I was like, hold on. Yeah, it's for Kinder.
Yeah. All right. Well, Shay, so what have we got coming up for tomorrow night? Because we're about to wrap up here tonight.
Well, we've got a whole bunch of shenanigans for tomorrow. Everyone's favorite music and or acting parody, your favorite internet memes, your favorite book, movie, song recommendations, show. I had to cut mine down into categories because I had lists or books, shows, and do I put docu-series under shows or documentaries? So I had to figure out my list there. Any absurd hobbies, and I ended on the r/advice because Reddit, things people are asking advice for on Reddit are just ridiculous. There's more than that, but that's what I've got so far.
So we're going to call it, instead of a Dear Abby, we need to have a Dear Cheyenne story, or Dear Shay.
No, I don't mail me any of your bullcrap.
I'll have Ross. He needs some advice on some things. So
No.
He has really twisted you, hasn't he?
I would say things, but I can't say them live right now.
That's true, because I'm not sure where we're being broadcast now. That's the scariest part of it all. Monday night, we're going to be on the Lippman on UFL. Hopefully, I can't. Hopefully, we have a guest. If not, then we'll send flowers. But so,
I'll come to read the potential obituary.
The show went somewhere south quickly. And then next Wednesday, let's see who we have. Let me pull the schedule up. I should have this up already, but I never have it up. You know, man, I'm not organized. Next week on the Paranormal Guys, where are we at? We are right here. That is the 15th. We have Ashley Hilt, who does Mothman, and she has her own podcast. And then we have Tom Franklin's going to discuss Poltergeist and Hatman. So I'm kind of intrigued.
Poltergeist and what?
And Hatman.
Hatman.
Yeah,
Sounds
you
like
need
my
to,
type of man.
You should do some research on that one. That's a scary one. He's been seen in
Just a man who
multiple
has affinity for
people's
hats.
dreams. No, he's been seen in multiple people's dreams around the world, and they all describe him in the same way. And next weekend, Cheyenne, you are in charge of the Grin Guardian, and we
I am.
have Chris Moore from the Chesapeake Fire Department. He's going to come on and speak. Yes. So Andy can help you out there.
Lord, you gotta tell me these things in advance.
Oh, I thought you knew. It was the weekend we were going for.
No.
We're going for the memorial in the woods for our friend, me and Bobby
I didn't
D.
know. All right, I'll be here.
Yeah. So yeah, next week is Chris Moore. He's going to be here talking about. Well, he's a public speaker about PTSD, about all things fire service related. He's a firefighter, paramedic, field training officer, instructor, blah blah blah. He's got all the credentials, so he's well versed. And then Saturday you have the Misfits. So yeah, you next week you got all of them.
So
Well, except for Monday's show.
you gotta tell me about these things, Glenn.
I thought I
She just
did.
did. She can't remember. Too much coffee.
Hey, I have the planner here.
Yeah. No, next weekend is me and Bobby and some of my friends and actually some family members are going to be in the woods doing a memorial service for one of our friends that was on our Bigfoot research team. So it's that weekend. So it's going to be a good weekend, but it'll be sad at the same time. So, but yeah, so that's what we got coming up on all of our shows. You can catch me on Tuesdays and Thursdays on the Thin Line Rock Station from noon to 1400.
You got it right.
And I am now doing Flashback Fridays. It is obviously taped since I'm here live from 6 to 11. I think. I just did my first one.
Around sometime.
I did. Well, what really sucks is I enjoy listening because he doesn't let me pick all the music, but I get to move some around and pick some of the songs. And so I got a little bit of say in it. And it's really cool because I get to pick the songs and I get to talk about the artists or, like I learned last night, the song by Don Henley, Dirty Laundry. That song is written because of EMS. Yeah. True story. Did you know that, Andy?
No.
Yeah. So what had happened was Don Henley had just broken up with the Eagles and he was in a serious depression. So he went to hotel room and called up for some sex workers and some drugs. And he got both delivered because, as you know, if you're a Hollywood star, carte blanche. And one of the workers fell ill. LA Fire Department came out and checked her out, said that she was okay to stay with her dad, and left. Short time later, LA paramedics showed up and found her nude and that she was underage and with him, and quickly rang up 911.
All right.
So Don Henley was arrested and charged with drug possession, giving drugs to a minor, other things. He pled no contest and did his time. He's said it was the worst thing he's ever done in his life, and he's regretted it every day since. So, but he wrote the song "Dirty Laundry" because the media would not leave him alone. So,
airing his dirty laundry.
Nice.
So the whole song was created because some paramedics found an underage girl naked with a rock star. That in itself is a rock song.
Exactly.
So there you go. So yeah, I didn't know that. I did some research and found that. So that's the kind of thing I'm doing on that show. I mean, it's fun stuff, but since it is a Thin Line Rock Station, I like to try and tie some of it back to public safety. So I thought that was kind of cool. Well, you know what I mean? It was not cool, but it was good that I got the story to put behind it. So
right.
People didn't know. So, but he did his time, and I unfortunately didn't know that about him, or I would have probably felt some sort of way. Like I have a problem with, is it White Snake that had the Rhode Island fire, Andy?
I believe so.
Where 103 people died. Now, although it was not the band's fault,
right?
It was the manager and production department. Oh, I still just kind of have a hard time playing their songs.
Yeah.
But once again, they did everything they were supposed to do. So, and I think the guitarist actually perished in that fire. So, it was the largest.
Yeah, I believe he did.
It was the largest loss of life in a fire prior to 9/11, I believe. It was 106, 126, was it?
I think so, 126.
Yeah, it was quite a few. You look it up. It was just outside of Buffalo, if I recall. So, in Rhode Island, or was it Rhode Island? I don't know. My memory is sketchy. It's been so long since I did that in my fire science degree when we studied all the arson cases. So, all right, guys and gals, if y'all ain't got anything else, I think I'm gonna end this on a song and get us out of here. Andy, you got anything? You gonna be on Brenda's show later or doing anything?
Not just getting ready to go on Brent.
Okay.
For the tail end.
All right. Well, have fun. Maybe you'll I hear your tones here. Maybe you'll catch a fire. So, yeah, those stupid paramedics. Can't live with them. Can't live without them. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful night. We will see you next week, or Cheyenne will see you next week. Her and Andy. Running the show there. I will see you tomorrow night. You can check me out Tuesday and Thursday on the Thin Line Rock Station.
All right.